Hey, what's up? My name is Keith Nicolini, and today we're going to do some After Effects and Element 3D. Our project is for a marketing company who's doing a website. Basically, they want to take this vehicle and do a 360 spin on it, and then have like little bullet points and stuff like flying out. We're going to go to our effects and type in Element. Here it is. We're going to drag it in, the effects control box. And so now there we go. Now we're going to hit Scene Setup. It's going to load Element 3D. We're going to find that 3D model, so we're going to go to hit OK. There it is. So there is a few things that we need to tweak on this. We're going to go to our materials, physical materials. We're going to just drag chrome onto that grill. So a lot of times the textures don't come over perfectly. So like once I set this up, I can save this out so I don't have to do this process every single time. What I had done though is I loaded another vehicle, so it loaded my textures into my scene materials here, the materials I need that are kind of default for vehicles. So I just hit window glass, boom, it was done. The rim is going to be more chrome, and then the brake disc in here should be called brake disc. All right. The car paint looks like it's already good. The interior, so we can find interior, just drag it into interior, boom. That looks good. We can click environment, and that'll bring up our environment here, which we're going to have to tweak here because of the reflections we want to do. Make sure we have a good one picked out here. All right, so I think we are, you know, that's looking pretty good so far. Basically what we need to do now is figure out what we're going to do for reflections, and also we need to set up a matte shadow for our shadow. So how we do that, so we want shadow, you know, similar to their rendering here. We're going to need shadow here. We're going to need some shadow. So what we need to do is we need a plane to reflect that shadow onto. So we'll go to Create, Plane. It's can't see it because it's inside the car right now. We're going to scale it up. Actually, we'll go ahead and make it a lot bigger because we're going to have other shadows coming off, and we want to make sure we have enough to work with. Then we're going to hit the arrow. We're going to turn off the environment so it's easier to see. We're going to move this down. We're going to move this just so it's just touching the tires there. We'll go even a little bit more, like right there. All right, got that. So now we'll go to our materials, and we're going to go to matte shadow, and we're going to just drag it onto there. Boom. All right, now let's look at the reflections. If you go into environments, these are all the environments I have. I actually have more than this. There's several. I have the backlight environments that I bought. These give you some different options too. And you can just click on these, see how it changes the reflections here. Let me turn off the grid. All right. So you can see you got a lot of different options here. For what we're doing, it's going to be more of a like a studio, just a regular studio type of setting here. So we got to find a good one that looks good. This one might work. Let's go back into environment here and see what other ones I have. You know, here's one with different lighting. This is more of just a standard studio setting. Let's look at this one. This one is, well, this one here, this might be the one we'll start with here. So this one here. All right, we'll hit OK. All right, looking good, looking good. We're gonna go to new, you're gonna go to layer, new camera. You want a 2-node camera. You want to make it a 2-node camera. A 1-node camera makes it basically, on a 2-node, I'll do a demo here for you. A 2-node camera lets you move into 3D space like this. It basically orbits around stuff. We're gonna hit undo. If you go to, if you make it a 1-node camera, now when you go to move it, it's panning the camera. As in a 2-node, it's actually moving the camera around the object. This object's center of our scene here. So a 1-node is never, I never use 1-node. 2-node camera, preset as far as millimeter, like the lens on it. I mean, we can just do, we'll do a 50mm lens. Hit OK. And boom, there we got our camera set up. We'll take our camera. If you click your scroll wheel, and I'm gonna also hold Control, I'm sorry, Shift. That'll let us move our camera up and down, and it'll lock it. It'll snap lock it. All right. Let's go to our Element 3D controls here. All right, so, which it's going to be small to see, but render settings, ambient occlusion. We're going to enable that. And we're also going to turn on shadows. Enable shadows. Let's get some lights in here. We'll go to layer, new light. We're gonna do a spotlight. We'll just leave it at white. The intensity is at 73, that's fine. The angle 90 degrees, that's all fine for now. And then also click cast shadows. Diffusion, we'll turn that up to like 100-ish, and darkness will turn like mid-80s, whatever, we can tweak it later. All right, so there's our light. Now, go to the Z and pull this thing out and up. I'm gonna get on that Z axis there and pull it out. We're gonna see here. X axis, we'll swing it around. Because our rendering, it looks like it's more from above. And then we're going to hit R for rotation. We're going to rotate that down. All right. It's not too bad. Lights are always hard to do. I've always had issues. With lights. They're kind of a pain in the butt. You know, I'm probably doing it wrong. You know. Also, if you ever hit spacebar, you can move your scene around here. Just hold down spacebar. All right, so this shadow isn't too bad from where we need to be. It's not too bad. All right. Let's go in and let's go to shadow diffusion and crank that up. so we can start getting some diffusion there. All right. Let's go into shadows here. And if we go to shadow mapping is what it's set at right now. We're going to go to ray traced. Click ray traced. We're going to Control D that light to duplicate it. So we just duplicated it, and we're gonna offset it. We're gonna kind of tweak it a little bit here to throw off a different shadow, different angle a little bit here. And light 1, let's turn that down so we can see what we're doing here with light 2. Because light 2 we might need to rotate a little bit here. It's very windy out today. I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone or not, but it's gusting like 50. All right, we're definitely going the wrong way here. We'll hit Control Z to undo. All right. Let's see if we can rotate this. There we go. All right. Okay. There. That looks good. All right. We also want to turn down that light. Let's go to 50% brightness there because we don't want to overexpose this here. And then on the other one, let's turn that to 50 as well. Maybe we'll go 30. And we'll go 30% intensity on both of the lights. In here in the element settings here, we're on group 1 right now. We'll go to create group null, hit create. We create a null for that model, so now we can move it in here. So we gotta move it up. We gotta move it up so it's more like that rendering. Reflections, we need to fix the reflections. It's not looking good at all right now. So we'll go into the reflection under physical environment. Physical environment, rotate environment. Let's see if we can rotate this. Keep rotating. And the wheels are not showing up at all, really. Oops. Turn the background music up a little bit. All right, well, I think what we should do is let's turn off shadows, and let's also turn off ambient occlusion, and let's figure out what's going on here. We gotta figure this out. So it's probably because the floor of this environment is black. Let's try this one. Or even this one. Oh, that one doesn't look too bad. Also, under car paint, we got to turn up reflectivity. We need more reflections there. I think what we should do is start doing the spin on it here. And that can be tweaked later, but I want to at least start spinning it. We're going to go to our group 1 null here. hit the Y-axis rotation, and I don't know how long it's going to take this whole thing to be able to read all the items and spin, so let's just start at like 40 seconds. And let's do... let's do a 1, put a 1 on this right here. We're going to do 1 full rotation. And then we're going to turn this res down a little bit so we can get it to render faster. And we're going to put this to preview. I'm going to hit the 0 button here. I'm going to hit 0 to do a RAM preview. Oops. Doing a RAM preview to see how these reflections look as it's turning. This was a mock-up, so it's like boom, this comes off, boom, and then there's like some freaking text there. All right, yippee. So there's another point, there's another point, there's another point. So what we need to do, these are gonna be 2D layers in 3D space parented to this 3D model. So this isn't like, you know, this isn't like a trip to the gas station. This could take a couple minutes. Although my gas station's right down the street, but. All right, so what we need to do is going off of these points that they indicated here. Let's start with number 1, airflow system. So it's like down by that bumper down there. So we need to spin it around so we can see that part. We're gonna zoom in there on it. Your scroll wheel on your mouse zooms in and out. The little hand moves it around, but if you're not in the hand mode, if you hold the space bar, it'll move it around. So, all right, so let's turn up the res on this so we can see what we're doing a little bit better. In element control box here, where I'm scrolling, what you need to look for is utilities. Let me close some of these arrows here. Utilities, there you go. All right, so you got generate 3D position. Select 2D position. Click that. Where you got the crosshairs that pop up. All right, boom. So it just did that, and then you hit generate under 3D null here, generate. And there it generated a null. See that? Now you parent that to the group 1 null, which is my actual vehicle. So I'm going to relabel this as truck. So element position 2, which is going to be airflow. I'm going to put airflow, just airflow. All right. And it's parented, so it should move with the model now. See? See how it's following that? Even around to the other side. All right, you following me? So what we just did is we put a null where our graphics are gonna pop out of, and bullet points are gonna pop up, whatever. Next thing, we gotta make our 2D graphics, So I envisioned it kind of being like a little high-tech window deal that pops up. That's kind of transparent, maybe kind of high-tech looking. I do have some stock interface elements, like computer graphics stock stuff. Like here's what we're gonna be looking at, this type of deal right here. You know, some of these elements, like maybe this box here, and then have your text inside of it. Yeah, see this stuff? I like the music here, huh? We can mute that out. So, you know, that sort of thing. So I do have some of that I've used before on other projects. So let's go into our stock folder here. And let's look for the folder wonder if I could bring a whole folder in here. Have I done that before? After Effects, dragging files in. You cannot drag a whole folder of that stuff in. All right, you have to make a folder. So you gotta make a folder, interface graphics. And we're gonna drop in a bunch of this stuff I got here on my stock folder. After Effects, though, it takes forever to import, like drag files in. Like it's still going, like what's taking so long? Like really? There it goes. So let's see what some of the ones we got here. All right. We're looking at some of these here. We're looking for a box to put the stuff inside of. So let's see what else we got here. That one's pretty neat. So videohive.net, they got all sorts of stuff. You can buy just stock elements. You can buy After Effects projects that you just drop in After Effects and change out placeholders and, you know, anything you might need. Just search it. They got all sorts of stuff on here. All right, we're looking at stock items here. Yeah, what else? Like I could use just the border of this one. I kind of like. Yeah, no. All right. This one might not be too bad. All right, that's a possibility. It's more of a square format rather than widescreen. And then we're also going to need something to poke down to the, like maybe we go in and we use part of this. So now we're going to mask part of this out. We're going to drag this one in. Actually, we're going to do a new comp for these. New comp. We'll call this, this is going to be our 2D graphics, but it's not a very good name. Call this text box. It's essentially a text box. 30, okay, all good. All right, I'm gonna turn the background control is, you can't see it on that screen. But there's a little, down here, there's a little controller if you want to see your transparency, you know, checkers, or you want black. So we'll turn it at black for right now. So we're gonna drop in the element that we just looked at. Here's what we're looking at. I want to only use part of this. So I'm gonna start masking it. I'm gonna turn off my grid here. And I'm going to start over here, and I'm just going to start using the pen tool. I'm going to mask inside of here because I just want the one outside piece. So this is kind of tedious right here. All right. So this is called masking. You can use this for all sorts of stuff. You probably already know. Okay. And we're gonna come over here. If you hold shift, it'll go straight lines for you. And it does, oops, you undo that. So, unless we want to leave that on there, but probably not. So we need to cut this little thing out. All right. Here we go, watch, boom. That's the only part we want to use. It's animated though, look. I mean, it's, you know, it's not super sophisticated animated, but you know, it's kind of already has some animation to it. You don't have to redo any of that. So that's going to be potentially like what goes down and touches the vehicle. So on that layer over here, we're going to actually hit S for scale. We'll scale it down and then hit R to rotate. And we'll spin it around. I don't know yet. All right. And then let's go back to that other one we liked. I just hit Taco Bell. Mediocre as usual. All right. We want to use this box here, I think, maybe. So, where am I at here? Oh, we gotta drop it in here. And then I'm gonna turn off that other thing, and then let's mask out this thing now. So, we only want to use that box. So, if you hold Shift, boom, there. Go through there, hold spacebar to move over here, zoom back in, hold spacebar, scroll up, hold Shift and click. Oh, and this, I mean, you know, this can be rough. You don't have to be, you can be all stupid and it's not gonna matter because it's got an alpha channel. That white is, there's no background to it, so your mask is just, it's clean to the edges of this alpha channel here that has a transparent background, see? All right, we copied the text. Let's make a text box here. We're gonna Control V, paste that. We're gonna Control A, select all, left align. Well, let's make it bigger. Fonts. What fonts do we want to use? You know, the font that they use on GMC commercials, I have that font. And I don't remember what it's called. Stratum 1, Stratum. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of has a clean look to it. Stratum 1. Is there Stratum 2? Nope. Stratum 1. Well, let's go in and change our spacing to 0 and our width to 100%. And maybe, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe we even go like -10 on that there. And I wonder if there's actual bullet points that we were gonna use or how we were gonna indicate, you know, something like that maybe. Airflow systems. Airflow systems. All right. Airflow systems. All right, so let's animate these in somehow. Let's, we're gonna go in here, animation presets. You like this song? You turn it down a little bit. Animation presets, you go down to text, animate in, and then typewriter I think will work. Just drag that up, and now when I hit the space bar, see that? Ding, 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 ding. It all animated in. Let's look at that again. See that? Airflow systems. Alright, so it's hard to see the I'm gonna double this up so it's brighter, maybe. Wait. If I duplicate this, Control D, I can make it brighter so I can see it a little bit better. And then, so this animates in, and then so right when it opens, that the text will start. So right now it's a little premature, so we're gonna take our text layer over here, hold Shift, so and it snaps right to my bar there, like. So the bar is where I want to start. I got my text here. If you hold Shift, it'll snap right in. So now it should like animate up and then start. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Just seeing what other elements I had here. Like we do want something that can represent the circle down on the vehicle. You know, something like this. Yeah, I like that. You know what else too is I'm going to change this comp setting and I'm gonna make it a little bit higher, more of a square. This doesn't have to be 16 by 9 or anything because this is gonna be comped into the scene. Oops. So if we put that there, you know what? I need to parent everything to one null. You go create a null, and I'll call this box. And within that box is the 2 layers of the border and the text. And we'll just parent that to box. So if I need to move all that stuff, I can just move it with one click. So we'll put that there. We've got our little circle thing. We'll shrink this down. We'll put it, you know, probably there. And then our other little thingy here. No, I don't need to look at the mask right now. How do we turn that off? There we go. Hit R to rotate. I don't know how we're gonna do this one here. Maybe that ain't the right. No. It's just not. Well, we can make it bigger. All right, so here's an idea. Used to watch American Choppers, and the old dude would always be like calling it like an idea. Like an idea? Like what are you talking about? All right. I only want to use part of this. Oh crap. That is definitely not what I want to do. Let's get the pen tool out. Let's make a cut here, cut there, and then the rest of this. And then this is going to be mask 2. What do we want? What do we want? I don't know. Let's do subtract on this one. No. Invert. Well. Oh shit. There's a way to do this that I can, oh hell. All right, hold on. You know what? I think the best option would just to be. Hold on here. Come on. Or add. All right, I think what we should just do is erase all these other. Oops. Actually, I'm going to duplicate this first, so in case I need it, I don't have to recut that thing out again. So I duplicate it, but we're going to go in this mask and we're going to get our arrow tool. We're going to just drag and highlight all these like keyframe points and just erase them. So we're going to get it down to the only part that we need. And let's get our rotation, you know, and let's get this figured out. Like, what is this angle at? So it's level at the top. That looks pretty close. So my thought is that we could do something like this, and then let's erase the rest of these pieces right here, and then move this one down. Do something like that, maybe. You see where I'm going with this? Where does it intersect here? I don't know if we can. Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks better just kind of gapped out here a little bit, maybe. But I don't like how it just stops there. These are the things as a graphics person that you got to deal with. It's kind of, it can be a hassle. All right, so I think right where my mouse is, we should cut it there. All right. What the heck layer are we at here? All right. So let's move this down. We can erase one of these and we can move. Oh no. All right, so basically like that. Yeah, it's a little rough, but that doesn't look too bad. All right, are you following me here? Don't fall asleep. We're 45 minutes in. We're almost done. And we might just quickly wrap this up and then I can tweak it later, but you get the idea. All right, so this was our little deal here, and then here's our little target thing. And we'll put that like next to that. Then let's go to the beginning and see how this all animates up. All right, well. Maybe let's put that background over here to see what it looks like. All right, so if we, what's that little arm deal right there? Let's copy and paste that or duplicate it, Control D, make 2 of those. So it's brighter, see that? And then those 2 are gonna be also parented to the box. So when we need to move the box, that goes with it. And then this final deal here, I think I was trying to do something like, or maybe we hit R to rotate this, and like that little indentation maybe meets up with this. Something like that. that looks all right, I think. And then, and then so this Control D to duplicate, make it brighter. You know, so now if we do a RAM preview, you know, our timing might need a little tweak here as well, but actually, let's do a fit up to 100%. So this thing, and then that comes out, but this is already up. So I think we need to move the this whole box with the text, move that back on the timeline a little bit here. So if we get those items there, and that, and let's move it. Let's look where that thing comes up about right there. So let's move that to about maybe like right there. All right, and then 0 to, yeah, that looks good. So it kind of starts down here and then it goes up. Right? All right. So I think that might work. Also, to make this more readable, I think that we should have like a little bit of a transparent black behind this potentially. So let's quickly try to make that happen. What we can do is new, solid, black, hit alright, and then hit OK over here, and then boom, we got a black solid. Hit T for transparency or opacity. We're gonna turn down a little bit so we can see, and we have to mask this now too. Look, hit the pen tool, hit one there, hold shift, hit one there, let up on shift to get it there, and then hold shift again, and then let up, and then hold. I'm just kind of quickly eyeballing this. Hold shift. And then boom, you saw that click in. Watch. You turn the opacity back up. See, we got that kind of roughed in. Doesn't look too bad. But let's take it over here and we got to drag it probably almost to the bottom layer here. See that? And now, if you hit T for transparency, let's turn that down a little bit. Let's just, you know, 34% is where it's at. So if you click on and off, you can see difference it makes there. But our only other problem is when it animates in, see that? It's not, we got to make it go with the animation. So this is pretty beginner basic keyframing, but we'll go into our solid. You know what, I just realized that our anchor point is going to be, I think we're going to have to tweak this. So if we go in and we want to scale it, like say we want to scale it this way, oops, that is not what we want to do. We don't want the pen tool. All right. Oh crap. We're messing with the mask. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to do scale. All right, cool. There it is. All right, so our anchor point, because when we first made this solid, it was the whole thing. Well, the anchor point's right in the middle. So I don't want to have to redraw that again. So let's just go and move our anchor point. So the anchor point is going to be where these red dots are here and here, equal the middle. And actually, if we turn on the grid, that'll help us too. But that looks like it's about center. Now we can just click and drag the whole thing back up. So see that anchor point went with it. And kind of set it back into place here. Best that you can. It looks pretty good. So what we can do now that the anchor point, so our scaling will go to the center. All right, so page up and page down are going to be your frame by frame. So you go to the last frame that it's there, boom. So on your black solid, scale and position, you're going to lock those in. Now you're going to page up to right there, to right here. That's the next part that was keyframed on this. You know, this is off the stock item here that we're kind of, we're gonna do, basically we're following their animation, but we're doing it manually, because I mean, it's not like we can just pull up their frickin' file and modify it, because we bought like rendered, pre-rendered just elements here. All right, so boom, there it is, and it already locked that in. And it looks like the position doesn't even change, but all right, so we keep going back and it squeezes in this way till it hits 0 there. So on our scale, on our other axis, we're gonna bring that in till it ends, it looks like. Or you just type in 0, all right. So now, let's look at it. See, boom, it went with it, nice. The only other thing we could do is motion blur. See how you can see the other white's blurred, but the black is not blurred. Let's click the motion blur, which is the little like 3 circle thing right here. That's your motion blur. And then you also have to turn on the motion blur up here to get your preview, so you can see, you know, that enables your preview. So like, because it'll slow down your system. If you don't need to see the blur right now, you can keep it off so you run faster. But it'll render it with blur either way, if that's on or off, as long as it's on in the timeline there. All right, so let's hit 0 for a RAM preview. And that looks pretty legit. You know what else we might be able to do to make this pop real quick? Is let's make it do like a little flash after, because the outside kind of flashes a little bit, you know, not for a minute there, but it does. Well, let's see here. Right there it flashed a little bit. But maybe before that white part flashes, maybe the black background flashes, like maybe like right when it comes up here. All right, so let's go into that black, hit T for opacity. It's at 88% right now. Set a keyframe, go one frame forward. And set another keyframe at say like half that amount, like 40. And then hit page down, one more keyframe, then go back to 88 where it was originally at. And then go one more frame forward and go back to 40. And then, actually maybe we should start it at 40. Let's just do 44. Page down, 88, page down. 44, page, enter, page down, 88. All right. So, no, doesn't even let you see it on here. So it should kind of do a little flash. 1, 2, 1. Yeah, could do one more of those, but they don't look too bad. All right, so you get the idea. Let me, let's do RAM preview again on this. Yeah, you can see a little flash there. All right, so it looks decent. All right, the only other thing I might tweak real quick is the text. I want to go this line down, highlight these, go to line spacing. Oh, there was another freaking line in there. Overhead ducting, twin sheet forming. Oh, this is part of that line. All right, let's take our box and stretch it out. There we go. All right, let's just make these all about the same. All right. All right, doesn't look too bad. I think it's good. Maybe this line here, the heading, we can make that bigger. you know. I wonder if they want the colon on there. Maybe we just drop that and do this. You know. And maybe we push this up a little bit. You know. And maybe we bring this down a touch. Something like that. We can turn off the title sake there. How you doing? Pretty good? Pretty decent, you think? Maybe? Get the sun coming out here. Who's not having fun yet? Oh man, what a pain in the ass. All right, so we got that done. Now we got to put it on the final piece. Turn off the background, go back to our original comp. Let's go to the front here. Turn this down. And let's just drop that comp in. So that was text box comp. First off, let me get out of that folder so I can close that folder. Just drop it in here. Okay, because it's not, all right, there it is. All right, so there you go. Now you gotta click on your little box over here to make it a 3D layer. Right here, this little box. All right, so we made our pre-comp of the text box there a 3D layer, and now it turned dark gray. And that's because as soon as we turned it into a 3D layer, it's accepting lights now. So what we need to do is go over and we gotta go to material options, accepts lights, turn that off. See the difference there? So, because the lights are not pointed at it right now, it's pointed at the truck. So we don't need lights on it, we just turn that off. So, we want it to pop out like right here. And we're gonna click, under utilities, we click select 2D position, and then we're gonna hit generate 3D null, which it just did. We're gonna hit P, gonna copy the position of that null. We're gonna go to our pre-comp box here and we're gonna paste. So now I moved it into that, oops, hold on. Paste, and then you immediately have to parent to that null. See, now it moves with it. Speaking of this pre-comp here, the elements here that we're using are 10 seconds long, which should be enough. So if we want this one to pop out, say right here, now I wonder which way they want this to spin. Clockwise or counterclockwise? I would do clockwise, but I should have probably asked him that. I think we're gonna reverse it because his rendering, his first rendering, oh, what the hell? All right, so airflow systems, he shows it starting here. This is the first item. So I think that we're going to have to make it go, I guess it, you know, all right, let's just, it could probably continue to go clockwise, but our starting point will be different. So we can go into our orientation here and we can start it over here for like the first item. See that? All right, so our pre-comp there needs to be adjusted as far as the anchor point. Hit A for anchor point. The little 3D, there's a term for that little thing with the axes on it. I forget. But your anchor point would be like right in the middle of that circle there. And see there? So that'll move with it. Now, we want the pre-comp to be rotated outward like this. More like that. And probably have to scale it down. Something like that maybe? So if we do a RAM preview of like just the 5 seconds here. It's kind of hard to see when it first comes on. Maybe we tweak the blending modes here for that. I don't know if that'll work though either. So we could go into this pre-comp and down here turn on the blending modes. It's on normal right now. We could try to go to add. See how it got brighter? Add might be good. Of course, when we did that, we lost our little black tinted background, but so you can barely see it. But I think if we just duplicate it, maybe 3 times, make it brighter. All right, not too bad. And then we gotta change this back to maybe, I think it's gotta go to, I think it's gotta go back to normal. Or overlay. No, I think normal. Still hard to read that, but, or see that, I should say, down there. Could try throwing a drop shadow on this whole thing here. Yes, I don't think that this is I don't know if we want to be doing that though, but that's the drop shadow kind of softened out, blended out. You know, maybe I move this thing down a touch so it's more like in the middle there. Something like that. Maybe we dupe it one more time. We could pre-comp those. So I duped it 5 times. I'm gonna pre-comp it down into this just so it's one layer. There we go. Oops. So I pre-comped it down into one layer there, and then we can parent that to the box. All right. This one I might do one more time and pre-comp these three. Pre-comp. It just pre-comping consolidates things down. It has many applications. You can pre-comp things for many different reasons. Alright, so it's looking better. Liking that, I'm liking that a little bit. So it's doing a RAM preview, it's rendering the RAM preview, and then it'll play it back at full frame rate here. You know, these animate off, I think, already. Yeah. So we'll have to... We could just snip out that extra time in there. So 5 to 7 seconds. So it's 6 seconds. These two pre-comps. This one we're not using. Let's hide some of these layers. I get too much going on here. Hide that. Hide that. Alright. So it's 6 seconds. We can out those, duplicate them, put in points, or actually we gotta look and see. Alright, so they start fading out right there. Are you following me? We're gonna in-point that, we're gonna drag these down, extend that. So it should turn off. Alright, that one did a lot earlier than the other one did. Alright, well, when's that box turn off? Dude, this is so... What the hell? Oh, I didn't pre-comp that. Alright, the box needs to be pre-comp too. Pre-comp. Call that box pre-comp. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to snip it there, duplicate it, and then find where it ends, which is going to be right there. Trim that down, bring that back. So it's up for a little bit, a long time, but I think we can tweak that. Let's organize this a little bit here. So we need to end earlier. We'll move this down a little bit. These can be all moved down. So alright. And then it's out by 7.5. Alright, that's what we want. Alright, and then all these pre-comps, we can trim the extra off the back side there. Move our little thing down, our workspace area. We can zoom into just the area we're working here. The little spinny doodad thingy, we're gonna have to tweak that. Which one is that? Okay. We'll call that the spinner. Alright. And then that spinner needs to turn off at the right time. It's going to be right around in here. Scoot that down. So it did kind of jump there a little bit, but you know what? I don't even care. You ain't got time to mess around with this thing. We'll leave it up a little bit longer here. We want it to go all out at the same time. See that? Yeah, see? There you go. And then all these can be trimmed down. All right, so the last thing here is to, I think I want to clean this text up just a little bit more here. I think we need to move it down a touch. Some more separation there. There you go. All right. So let's look at the black background part too. Yeah, we need to fix that too. And we do that the same way we did it the last time. We could probably even cut and paste the keyframes and rearrange them. Let's try and do that. Let's move these keyframes around. Move this one over here and move this one over here. Let's see if that works. Yeah. Hard to see it kind of, but so it should animate off now. See there? All right. Let's watch it again. Yeah, I don't like how that freaking spinner chops out at the end there. Let's try and fix that. Right here. See how it chops there? So what we'll do is we'll take this spinner over here, set a keyframe for rotation, go to the last frame here where that one starts. Back a little bit, and oh, all right, okay. Forgot the anchor point. We can't do that. Well, son of a bitch. I got an idea. Let's go in to right where this part is here. And oh man, this is not good. I don't know. This might be a waste of my time here. Alright, so I think we're right on the cut point here, maybe. Yeah. Alright, so we'll change the rotation on these to just a few frames forward or backward. Let's look. So they gotta go clockwise. They gotta go clockwise a little bit more. Alright, have I confused anybody yet? Yeah, see, that looks better. Yeah, perfect. So there's no chop there anymore. Alright, sweet. Ooh. So it comes on and it goes off. Alright. Airflow systems, AIS, foam ducts, low profile ducts, overhead ducting, twin sheet forming. Is it up long enough, you think? Well, I don't know. Should we make it any color, you think? Like maybe we put a like a blue dot behind it, similar to what they had. I don't know. Well, hold on. I'll go back into our pre-comp here. I'm going to paste a blue solid behind it, and then take our mask round ellipse tool and hold shift down and make it about the same size, and then arrow it, shift arrow it down, something like that maybe, and then lower the opacity on it. Looks a little better maybe. I don't know. Let's go to the mask for that, and then let's go to, maybe we just make the very middle part like blue. Yeah, maybe. I think I like that one better. I don't know, I feel like stopping, but the customer needed this, like, the customer needed this a minute ago, so we better get her done. Like how I have that freaking box up in the corner there. I need to freaking figure this out. So I hope you found this fun and educational and entertaining. You'll see the final loop here right now. We'll put it up. The final rendered piece looks pretty good. So anyway, we hope to do more of these, and keep an eye out for more tutorials. We might be doing some live streams as well. So have fun, and we'll see you next time.